16,345 pounds, big old King of the Road Crown Marquis 40 RS coming in on trade here at Haylet RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This thing is big, different, heavy, the size of a World War II aircraft carrier, pretty much the same weight. This thing has a massive pin weight with the full 5,500 Onan generator and a big bed slide up front. This is probably best handled with a dually. This thing is weird, different, and it was a spaceship for its time, way ahead of the curve of its time. Dual airs, the predecessor to today's modern Whisper Air systems, remote control, A&E Weather Pro awning, although I haven't had the remote successfully sync. It might just need a new battery. Like I said, generator up front, even weird, wacky things on this wide body beauty, like this built-in belly-mounted porch that's, you know, part of the RV. You have your own built-in deck, which is kind of acting like, in a sense, a step. And you see these dual side-to-side slide-open storage trays. There are insane things on this RV that were just way ahead of its time. Unfortunately, the King of the Road company left us in 2007, but it left its mark, and you can still see the legacy of their products alive and well here in this rig today. This would make an absolutely awesome, like, park destination rig for somebody. And a quick look with the slides closed. If you want to get through it with the slides closed, y'all gonna have to do the Dukes of Hazzard yeehaw across that countertop and spider climb across that thing like they're spider monkey. And if you do that, then you can get back through everything. With this big behemoth, this is definitely intended with destination use in mind. And this thing was really so far ahead of its time that it is still very current. And if you start listing down on paper the features this RV has, it is very reminiscent of today's luxury fifth wheels, built way ahead of its curve. And there are some areas, again, like I said, they were flirting with the idea. This was the predecessor to what later became the modern quiet cooling air system. This is not like today's whisper ducted air, but they were trying different vent systems to knock the noise down. You can see some very residential style light fixtures. That was really the whole idea behind this, is that they were trying to build an RV if you meant residential vehicle. Kind of wacky, kind of wild stuff going on here. You can see almost a predecessor to today's floor plans. Like, this is on paper very similar to, say, something like a 3120 Montana that we might have at Haylet RV today. Very similar layout, just a little bit of a classic application thereof. It was built a little bit before flat screens had kind of come in, but you can see how the entertainment had been updated to that flat screen. Conventional, you know, classic like CD Pioneer, Presto Change-O, Magic Exchange-O CD system. The TV can actually come out and pivot a little bit. Electric space heating fireplace there. And that table, I think that might be oak. Holy crap. I was expecting just to pick it up and drag it and twist it around how I wanted to. About threw my back out. I wasn't prepared. I do believe that is a residential furniture fixture. As similar to, you see this rear sofa and these dual recliners here. Those are not the original factory pieces of furniture. An RV like this would have definitely been built for somebody who had full timing in mind when it was brand new. This was not a casual camper. This was not your father's fifth wheel, basically. So at some point they updated the furniture because they probably wore the stock furniture out. That is a inner spring hide-a-bed sofa, by the way. See how the windows are all fully framed out, all the cabinetry. I love me that honey oak cabinetry. I have always been a sucker for that. I wish we got more. Now, I'd like it to be a little lighter and brighter in here, but some of the lights need some bulbs replaced. Little things like that. Now, we could have a tech go through tip to tail every single nut, bolt, widget, and whiz bang on this thing, and we could spend a bunch of money diagnosing this, that, and the other thing. Or for little things like light bulbs that you could very easily exchange yourselves, we have simply not had the techs look at things like that so that we're not dinging the price tag on something that does not require tech knowledge to fix. Given the age of the RV and some of the general condition, we felt it would be best to try to keep this one as affordable as possible. And I'll cover that again as we go through. I love that round style dining table. A little extension leaf potential there as well. Now, these big Peninsula countertops, I kind of like these. I always have because they give you so much prep space. There's a ton of storage there as well because everything under the counter is storage. That's a big chunk of solid surface counter there too, with some big sink space under that. I mean, that's no joke in and of itself, plus plenty of cabinet area all the way around. You look up top, you see one of those larger vent fans keeping the airflow rolling. And as we back up, again, this thing's so far ahead of its time, it's in a way still very current with today's modern fifth wheels. That is one of the earliest instances of a larger, like 18 cubic foot gas electric fridge and freezer. This was made when a 12 cubic foot fridge freezer was like, wow, luxury fifth wheel. And here this thing is 50% bigger, which is one of the reasons this was an exceptionally expensive fifth wheel when it was brand new. Big pantry right beside it, big residential size convection microwave as well. Almost like a diesel pusher motorhome, you also see how it has a solid surface stovetop cover there too. Little things too, like cabinet ducted heating here in the kitchen, keeping the heat vents out of the floor. These guys were way ahead of the curve on a lot of those things. Now as we come over here to what I'm going to call the hallway, because it has such a private feel, you will find a washer dryer. You'll find a washer and dryer, not just prep, but the actual units in the RV. But right here we have a central vacuum. Now, by our little coat rack, you see that mirror? That is the hidden switch panel for all of our slides, as well as a very residential style, basically fuse box. This does not have a traditional converter system. This has a literal, like, residential wiring system in it. Now, the generator was only added a couple years ago. You can see there's only about 15 hours logged on it. It is a propane generator, so it doesn't tend to get gummed up and dumbed up when it's not being used. Now, check this out. There's this private door that gets us into the bathroom here. And actually, I'm going to come in and then back up just a step because this is such a wild, unconventional bathroom arrangement. But once again, the idea is to make it look and feel a little bit more home-like. Solid surface bath counter here, and that sink and countertop, they're actually one seamless piece. Those are not two different objects, so there's no seams there. And this is a legit tile grouted bathroom shower arrangement. Again, very much residential in the look and feel of this. Now, she's a bit aged, the whole RV is, but I mean, it's still here. She's still doing it. For privacy, because you're like, well, I'm kind of feeling a little open and exposed to the world. We just had cleaned out this bathroom, and there's a curtain rod that you just hang up there, and that's your shower curtain. Now we have a very, so that if someone's in the shower or whatnot, or if you're using the bathroom, other people can still walk through, but a very private closet style, toilet arrangement here, or water closet, as they may call it across the pond, with another one of those XL fans up here. Now, right across from that, you see this big double door. This is either a huge closet, or, obviously, they have separate stackable washer and dryer installed here. Once again, I feel like, especially given the age of the RV and some of the general condition, if your goal was to just get it somewhere and park it and leave it, this thing would be fantastic for somebody. I don't know that I'd want to go hauling it around just because this thing, again, it has the size and weight of a World War II aircraft carrier. It's a beast. Second centralized air conditioner up top. Again, predecessor to the quiet cooling air system. Not quite as quiet as today's, but a little quieter than the non-quiet ducted airs of its era. Keep that in mind. King bed over here in the slide out. And again, I pride myself on trying to be as forthright with information as possible. Also, when it says always kiss me goodnight, that is a good way for me to get sued working in this business, because a lot of people misunderstand what the kiss would represent. Never mind, moving on. But what I was getting at, I pride myself in giving people good information before I cracked a bad joke. The bedroom slide on this is acting funny. Obviously, it's gone in and out because we're sitting here with the bed slide out. The RV's been moved around a lot a few times. And I suspect what it is the system that operates all the slides in this has kind of a pressure delimiting kill switch. I had, originally when I went to set this RV up, the bed slide didn't want to come out. And I was like, what's going on here? Well, the living room and kitchen slides, I just tapped the retract button once and I heard something click. And then the bed slide went right out. So I believe there's just simply sort of like a system pressure kill switch that was killing all the slides. Maybe I inadvertently nearly overextended some of the other slide outs, and it was kind of taking the stress off of everything. Now that's a little stool down here. Neat little kind of desk bureau, maybe wardrobe or armoire area, something like that. Just because they don't need a washer dryer up front here, just tons of closet space. And if you're looking, this bedroom window, you see these sliding mirror panels that can enclose that window. If you want to close that off and make the room not look and feel so small, you can do that. Now there's more of that beautiful dresser space over here, more drawers below. I just wanted to give you an idea of how everything here looks before we step outside. Back outside, once again, a lot of weird, wacky, wild stuff going on here. This is an A&E Weather Pro awning. Again, in theory, it should have a remote control that can also operate that. However, I did not get the remote control to talk to the brain system. It's possible that they need some kind of resyncing for which I'm not trained, or it just needs a new battery, or the remote system just maybe isn't working. I don't know. And again, we've got this weird built-in belly patio. You don't have to use this thing, but it's there if you want it. And in a sense, it's kind of acting like one of the steps to get you upstairs, with a huge folding handle to get you up and down safely and easily, plus another handle up by the door if you notice. Now the big, this is one of the largest storage bays I've ever seen under a fifth wheel. We get over here, you see that there are these slide out easy access storage trays on either side of this thing. It's wild, man. This is a weird. Oh, by the way, this patio system, this is a power extension. You don't have to like physically heave this sucker. In here, kind of in the battery compartment, you see that white switch labeled in and out? Guess what that does? That runs this thing in and out. As I back up here, you see the 5500 Onan generator come back into view. I haven't personally messed with it. Again, only about 15 hours on the RV. And my notes indicate, manager says, tested, works. Okay, well, that tells me the generator works. This is a wide body sucker. And something else I noticed, again, if I see something, I say something. You see the little Band-Aid right there? And then you see the little Band-Aid right there. I've been around this industry a long time. I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, at one point, somebody attempted to pull this fifth wheel off of its site, but didn't have the jaws of their hitch locked. And unfortunately, the fifth wheel itself dropped on the bed of a truck. That's exactly what those two little Band-Aids there represent. Just a lot of experience kind of talking. Overall, everything seems to be fine. Honestly, I feel bad for the truck this thing fell on. That'd be like a sumo wrestler falling on my little brother. It just wouldn't end well, dude. Rough. The slide awnings, by and large, are okay. They're doing their job. Remember, the RV's got a little bit of age to it, but like over here, you see how that one's a little tattered. She's in a bit of tatters. It's there. It's okay. It's just not perfect. You could maybe put a little seam tape temporary patch job on that. But again, a big RV like this, big tri-axle sucker, all 6 tires were replaced about 2 years ago, by the way. So the tires are actually not in bad shape. Tires are great. Over here, again, slide out storage tray and your enclosed private docking center. This thing was way ahead of us. And this is wild, dude. Look at this. When I noticed this when I was down here. The holding tanks are mounted above the pass-through storage, at least some of them, like for the bathroom here. And I was like, what? That's not normal. The bathroom gray and black tanks are mounted up here. And I was like, dude, that's wild. Well, think about it. You've got this huge, storage compartment down here. You try to mount tanks below all of that, well, they're going to be scraping the ground. You got that patio deck below this thing taking up space. There's just no way to do it. So they put them above the pass-through. It's weird. It's wild. But I mean, it works. Now, there's a little snow on the ground, probably a little snow on the roof, but I am going to try to at least get to the top of that ladder and show you what it looks like up there in a minute. Power rear jacks was another thing this was ahead of its time on. Now, you see those little casters right there? That's where the scrub line would be located. If you're not familiar, the scrub line is the line from the bottom of the back tire straight to the rear bumper or cap or whatever the case may be. And if anything hangs down below that, it's going to get scrubbed. That's where the name comes from. So they put some caster wheels on there to kind of bump the scrub line down to make sure you're not going to accidentally rip off your power rear jacks, because that's not how you want to start your camping trip or end it or ever experience anytime. Doesn't matter. And then up top here, I'm actually quite impressed with the condition of the roof. I didn't expect something that has obviously been reasonably well kept over time. It could use a cleaning, but frankly, this time of year, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care what we're looking at, the roof could probably use a cleaning because snow is dirty, and when snow melts off, it leaves the dirt behind. That's, you know, how glacial erosion takes place. Basically same concept. You can see over all the power vent fans, they have nice covers and big thick ones that can actually hold up to those larger vent fans. The seals, you can see where there's some new seals. You can see where there's some spot sealing. So the sealing was obviously, you know, they were right on top of that very recently because we didn't do any of these roof seals here at Haylett RV. So, you know, again, the RV, it's got some good points. It's got some points I've mentioned that concern me, and that's why I have pointed them out to you so that you folks can make your own educated decision. So my thought here, if you are a first-time RVer, I don't know that this would be the right one for you, but if you have wrench turning knowledge, I think that you could save a ton of money on this thing versus, you know, like a late model luxury fifth wheel, still get most of the same features. You could do a couple little fixes, mostly like light bulbs and small stuff, and I think you do well. You know, over there in that building, we got our sales and service teams. We're here to take care of you. You're no doubt going to have additional questions. Now, an RV like this, with some of the potential concerning items I've shared, I don't expect you just to walk in here willy-nilly, blindly handing us your paycheck. I wouldn't. I don't expect you to. So you give our team a call. Whatever questions you have, hit us with. Anything that we can't investigate or don't know offhand, we will do some more investigating, try to get you an answer. We'll get it pulled up to the building. We'll have it plugged in. We'll let you see everything working, not working. However, let you see it for your own eyes before you know, sign that paycheck away. We aren't asking anything crazy here. We're just asking for the fair opportunity to do our jobs and earn your business. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.